SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
You're listening to SportsTalk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C-Spire. Power your home or business with C-Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers Super Talk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
What a day. What a day so far at Augusta National. The leaderboard is just... it's just beautiful. It's exactly what you were hoping it would be, absent Bryson and Rahm, the live guys, not off to a good start. Bryson took 3 shots to get out of a bunker on 11, and boy, did I feel seen in that moment. But we're glad you're with us. We got baseball to talk about. Mark Etheridge is coming up here in about 30 minutes from right now. We'll talk college football with Wilson Alexander, who's now national with On 3 at 420. Got a college football fix coming your way. Random stuff happening in the sports world. The Department of Justice is investigating the NFL. All that more with you. Honestly, though, Hadad, they're investigating them for violating that television whatever act of 1961 because they think the NFL is violating that law by making it too expensive and too inaccessible to watch their games. They got all kinds of exemptions and stuff from the government. They're violating those. And so we may start getting NFL football not behind a bunch of paywalls moving forward. We'll see. That's kind of the gist of that story. But regardless, welcome in.
Why don't we fix the price of chicken wings? Then we'll worry about the NFL.
You want to help sports fans.
I got better
that's
ideas
a way
for how government resources could be spent. But that's for Richard Cross in the morning, not tomorrow morning, but other mornings. We are in the Pearl River Resort Studios.
Wait, tomorrow's Friday already? Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. That's where we are. Pearl River Resort Studios. So if it's Friday already, that means your weekend should be at Pearl River Resort. Go play 18 at Dancing Rabbit. Grab a awesome meal at Philip M's. Enjoy some live entertainment. Perchance a wager? I don't know. Whatever you like to do, man. Make it happen for yourself at Pearl River Resort. C-Spire text line open to you at 601-879-4395. With C-Spire, it's easier than ever to get all the devices you want in one move with the Ultimate Connect bundle. Right now, new and current customers can get a free phone, watch, and tablet, plus 100 gigs of data for just $90. That includes the new iPhone 17 and Samsung Galaxy S26 for free, and a free smartwatch, and a free tablet to go with it. So don't wait. There's more to see. Visit cspire.com or stop by your local C-Spire store today. C-Spire, more like Free Spire. C-Spire is inspired by you.
How much Masters have you watched so far today? Over, under, 5 seconds?
Under.
Not even a highlight on Twitter?
I've had stuff to do today. The only thing I've watched Masters related was Chris Vernon's Masters update. That's it.
Okay.
Not a fan?
It was funny the first year.
Well, now it's just it's a tradition unlike any other. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's kind of at that point now. That's the thing about a bit. Sometimes a bit becomes work. Like sometimes you just have a bit and it's funny.
Yeah.
But then people expect it. You know, so. Well, that's how you end up having to record Robbie saying 50 so that when he's not on the show, you can still play it. So.
There is the TikTokification of ESPN.
I saw you complaining about this, old man and the...
But here's the thing, Hadad. Uh-huh. They have the rights to air the tournament. And instead of airing the thing that we are there to see... They had Laura Rutledge go one-on-one with something called The Miz earlier.
All right,
on
first
the
off,
broadcast.
Hold up. Don't you dare.
Who's that?
He's a wrestler.
But why is he at the Masters? And like, would you
I'm
want?
surprised he's at the Masters. I'll say that.
Hey, Dad, when the Royal Rumble comes around,
I don't want Scotty Scheffler involved.
And it's not just that. Like, if Scotty's there in the crowd, you cut to him for a second. Oh, he waves, whatever.
Yeah, you make a joke about maybe he could get in the ring and the skills he learned in prison.
But this is if they cut away from the Royal Rumble, the action in the ring, and interviewed Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff that's happening here.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Like nobody's asking for that.
And that's we talk about nobody's asking for that. You're actually like, by and large, the people who are locked into the Masters, especially what time in the morning was this?
Oh, it was like 9.
Okay, if you're watching the Masters at 9 Central, you don't like pro wrestling, probably. Probably the Venn diagram of the people who are awake watching Masters coverage at that time, because you're talking about the West Coast, talking about 7 a.m. Right?
But even if they like wrestling, they don't.
They don't want it with their Masters. I get that, but like you're talking about, this is a very narrow subset. Like these circles on the Venn diagram barely intersect. Yeah. You're not serving anybody. What you're serving is, ESPN paid $50 million or $1 billion or whatever it is for WWE content, so they got to try to publicize it because WrestleMania is in 2 weeks. So, yes, I agree. I'm with you. As a fan of professional wrestling, I don't want the Masters involved.
Yeah, it's just all the Kevin Hart and I like Kevin Hart. Like, he's funny. I like Jason Kelsey. He seems wholesome. He's good story. Became a star in the NFL. Seems like got a good family. He's a lot smarter than his idiot brother. I mean, there's a lot to like about him. But
they're so harsh.
I don't like Travis Kelsey at all. I just don't like him.
What did he do to you?
I just think he's dumb.
Okay. Well, he ain't too dumb. He's about to be a billionaire.
No, he's not too dumb, but I think he's dumb. But no, like, I like him too, but you're injecting TikTok into this. That's the issue. Is ESPN doesn't know how to put on events anymore. They don't know how to put on College Game Day anymore. They don't cover the NBA. My gosh, man, when ESPN has a big NBA game, they show Stephen A. Smith's walk into the arena like he's one of the players.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that they have become. And it's so disappointing because instead of having Johnson Wagner or somebody that's in broadcasting that does this sport, that can provide context to all of this, wow, look at Jason Kelsey. He's put 2 sandwiches on top of each other, and he's stuffing his face instead of you watching the thing that you're there to see. Drives me crazy. But leaderboard, outstanding right now.
Nice.
Oh, it's really good. Sam Burns, Sanderson Farms champion. Sam Burns from Shreveport, I think, is his hometown. He shot 67, as did Rory McIlroy. Took Rory a little bit to get going, but once he did, he was sharp.
Here's my question, and you may not know the answer, but it's sort of a golf. What's the best start ever by a defending champion?
Oh gosh, I have no idea.
I wonder if this is up there. I mean, 5 under on the first day is pretty good.
You have some back-to-back winners, but that was a really good sign from Rory. I mean, he's been distracted this week. All the champion stuff that he had to do and all the stuff, and he looked really sharp. Kurt Kitayama, the American, shot a very nice 69, as did Jason Day and Patrick Reed. Patrick Reed actually got it up to
picks to click there.
He got it up to 5 under at one point. Didn't have the best at the Masters, it's the second 9.
Yeah.
He didn't have the best second 9. Justin Rose made the turn at 3 under. Scotty Scheffler's 3 under through 8. He eagled 2 and then drove the green on 3, which not many guys are doing that today. He looks sharp. Gary Woodland, great story. He's at 3 under. Shane Lowry's at 2. Xander's at 2. How about Fred Couples, the ageless wonder? He's at 2 through 13
win for old
right
guys
now.
Right there. Let's go, Freddie.
Oh, and the swing is still butter.
It's still
just
there.
butter.
It's still there.
But Fred Couples is at 2. Jordan Spieth is at 2. Justin Thomas is at 2.
I have received word from one of our listeners who, I don't know why he just didn't use the C Spire text line. You text all the time. Just text me there. It was the best start by a returning champion by 1 shot.
There it is.
So there you go.
And frankly, he left a couple out there as well.
Really?
I mean, he looks good. But Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, both at 2, they made the turn. Tommy Fleetwood kind of fell off. I think he got it to 4, but finished at 1 under, so he's up there. I mean, Adam Scott's at 1 under. Max Homa shot an even par 72 early today. That leaderboard is absolutely stacked for day one. Because sometimes, especially in this event, day one, there's a little volatility. You'll get some guys up there that you're like, not only do I not know who he is, but I don't want him to be there.
Yeah.
You don't have that today. It's just star power up and down this leaderboard right now.
Even the casual golfer like me, I recognize McIlroy, Rose, Reed, Scheffler. Schauffele is just because his name is weird. I recognize that.
Xander, he has his own app.
Why not?
It's horrible. It's got to be a tax write-off. I mean, that's the only reason why you have an app. It's awful. So. Yeah. He has his own merch store, and you can track only his play and stuff. He gives random updates on his own app. It's very odd.
Can you directly message him?
I don't think so.
Is there a certain tier of pricing for that? Jeez.
But yeah, could you imagine having the Brian Hadad app? Could you imagine having meetings to develop the Brian Hadad app?
I think that would be a terrible idea.
I would hate myself if I did something like that. Sports Talk Mississippi, keep the text coming in. There's been a good bit of them, actually. So you guys aren't too disappointed in Golf Talk Mississippi, so we might keep on this when we come back.
In the Venable Glen.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
A lot of your text came in. I'm a little surprised. I know I nerd out on the Masters. You guys have one more day and then 5 minutes on Monday. That's all you have left that you have to deal with this, and then it'll be full steam ahead, spring football, baseball, all that stuff. This is all you have to deal with for a month until the U.S. Open comes. But we don't spend near the same time on the U.S. Open or any other as we do this. But somebody says maybe the PGA promoters are concerned that they're losing fan base to aging out, so they're reaching in an attempt to tap into the TikTok generation.
That may very well be the case, but what you're describing doesn't reach the people who want to watch the Masters.
Right. And, I'm 100% with you. Golf is an old demographic. There's no doubt that they all the time are trying to reach a younger audience. But here's the thing. Since COVID, golf has not been more popular among young people since Tiger Woods' heyday. We're talking 2005. Ratings, interest, for the first time in forever. This predates Tiger. There's been a decline in players every year. Just fewer and fewer people playing. That has completely turned on its head, and it is going north fast. I mean, they've... One of the very few good things that came out of COVID is it saved golf. It's more popular than it's ever been because that's all people were allowed to do, at least in the South anyway, was go play golf.
You're right.
Somebody says it's like MTV not playing music videos. Exactly. Dance with the girl that brought you.
Yeah. I agree with this. Marty says Topgolf has helped. I think I agree with that. That they've made
100%
something that's you can play in an evening. You think about we're going to go play a round of golf. All right, that's a 4-hour commitment probably during the day,
and it's hot.
If you work, you can't really do that. Now I'm talking about this something. Hey, I can take my kids out. We can have some fun for a couple hours.
If you suck, who cares?
If you suck, who cares? We'll get some food. It'll be great. Yeah, I agree with that. I've never been to a Topgolf, but I'm sure they're cool.
They are. I mean, people go and watch games at Topgolf.
Yeah, they should get Bad Bunny to play the 19th hole. That would be incredible.
So there was on the Bad Bunny halftime show thing. He did not sing the songs that have the lyrics that were going around that were Bad Bunny lyrics.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
But
I was aware of that the day it happened.
But there was some true fake news out there about that.
Oh, yeah. The fakest.
But
the
some
Hell
of
State Diamond of news.
Pretty much. Some of his lyrics, though, that he actually did perform. It's like, is this guy a toddler? I mean, like,
Yeah.
who wrote this?
Well,
Oh, well. I mean, I guess it works, but
yeah.
Marty also said, I'm surprised that DeChambeau and Rahm blew up today. Couples clearly knows exactly what spot of the green to hit. Course experience matters a lot at Augusta. Yeah, hey, Dad, the average winner of the Masters has played at least, on average, 7 times before they won. So course knowledge is paramount there, and you see it with Freddie. I mean, you miss in the right places. Bryson today missed in a lot of wrong places. And on regular events, and especially on Live, where, I mean, I'm not being a hater, it's true. They don't play on, like, elite golf courses that are really good tests. You can miss in bad spots, and it doesn't matter. At Augusta, if you miss in a bad spot, you're making bogey. You can't recover from that. And he had a lot of that today. His mid-iron game is awful. Let me see if I can find him on the leaderboard. He shot 76, finished at 4 over. So he's got to dramatically improve tomorrow, or he's in danger of missing the cut. Just a rough day for the big golfer. But his game is good enough to where he can quickly turn that around. We'll see.
All right.
Let's see. There's only been 5 times in the history of the Masters where the leader of the first round actually went on to win the tournament. Craig Wood in 1941. Who could forget? Arnold Palmer in 1960, Jack Nicklaus in 72, Raymond Floyd in 76, and Spieth in 2015.
There you go. That Craig Wood one, it was Craig, right? Is it Craig?
I think so.
Yeah, that's the one that stands out above the rest for me.
This is a good way to describe it. Topgolf is almost like being at a major college baseball stadium and being able to hit a golf ball out of your suite into center field. That is a really good way to put that.
Yeah, there's something to that, yeah.
Hey, Dad, I think you would have fun. If you ever have to stay, like the next time you have to stay in the Jackson area for meetings or whatever, we'll go to Topgolf.
Okay.
Because comfortable couches, beer, food.
Twist my arm.
I mean, that's what we'll do. We won't go some fancy Richard Cross dinner. We'll go to Topgolf and have some chicken wings. And
all right, I'm in. Swing a few clubs.
Oh man.
What's the safety thing like there? Like, because I'm gonna hurt somebody.
Oh, you're fine.
Slice.
Yeah. No, there's no way. It's impossible to hit somebody else with the ball.
Okay.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
It's no problem at all.
Don't they have the Happy Gilmore rule at those places?
You cannot do the Happy Gilmore.
You're not allowed to do the Happy Gilmore. I mean, I wouldn't, but I'm just asking.
There are videos of people that have fallen off the second tier onto the little nets that they have to catch you.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Dad, they're so funny.
I might have to look some of those up.
Oh, they're so funny.
I got no problem looking for that.
Because they are mostly people that are not particularly athletic, let's put it that way, and they have a really hard time climbing out of the net. Oh, I feel bad for laughing, but goodness. Anyway.
Yeah. I'll definitely look some of those up later.
601-879-4395. Mike Bianco told us what Ole Miss's rotation was going to be this weekend already. State released theirs. Now, you're not surprised by any of it, but
that's not true.
You were surprised. So what was the surprise?
I was surprised Charlie Foster is still. They must truly believe in Charlie Foster. And look, starting him on Sunday is a different deal than starting him on Friday. You know, Friday you think those games are going to be lower scoring. You can't get off to such a bad start. But I really thought they might go another way after I mean, he's had one good start this year, and that was against Ole Miss. And even in that start, he did leave he didn't have the lead. You know, it was only 1-0, but he wasn't winning at the time. It's just I was just a little surprised to see him in that third spot, but that's the way they're going to go.
So what would you do if you were in Brian O'Connor's shoes?
That's a great question. I don't really know. You know, I definitely would go Valinkas Stone. I'd keep Valinkas on Friday, Stone on Saturday. They'll be fine there. Honestly, I might look at Billingsley. He's been really good starting in the midweek the past few weeks. Maybe just to do it like an opener. Just give me 2 trips through the order if you can, and kind of go from there. But we'll see. I mean, they obviously really believe in this guy, and look, I know that he has the talent but there's something that's not unlocked that they got to figure out. And I don't know.
Could this be like a fight? Hey, here's your last shot, buddy. We believe in you.
Well,
but
you can't tell somebody that.
No,
though,
you don't. Internally.
Yeah,
like,
internally, yeah. Like,
because Ole Miss
maybe,
did that with Libbert, and it didn't work, and they benched him.
The problem is that he hasn't been super effective out of the bullpen either. So it's like, it really does feel like it's just kind of make it or break it at this point for Foster. So we'll see what happens. Sunday, as we know, Sunday is usually a day, or I should say game threes, because last week on Saturday was low scoring, 8-5, but it's in extras. They got the last 3 runs in the 10th. It's 5-5 going to the bottom of the ninth. They usually, you think it's a little bit more offensive kind of day, so maybe you look at it and go, hey, we're going to be all right. We're going to score some runs. If we give up a couple runs in the second, third inning, it's not that big a deal, and we can let him pitch through it. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I was surprised by that decision. The other two, the moving, keeping Valinkis and Stone where they were Friday, Saturday, absolutely the right decision in my opinion.
These are the kind of weekends you build these stadiums for June baseball, not April baseball. But these are the kind of weekends that you build the stadiums for.
Yeah,
I mean, big brands.
Should be huge crowds this week in both stadiums.
Massive crowds in Oxford upcoming. I mean, these fan bases. If you got an SEC series at home and it's not snowing, you're going to get good crowds. But with what Tennessee has become in terms of Tennessee's a draw, man. Even though Vitello left. People want to beat Tennessee still.
It's turned into they're down, so let's watch us go get revenge for what they've done to us in the past. No, everybody loves to watch the bully get beat up, and Tennessee was the bully of the SEC for the last 2-3 years. They're not that anymore. They don't have that same swagger. They don't have the same kind of play, and people are gonna come out to the ballpark. It would be kind of like if Alabama went 4-8. I mean, you would definitely go see your team play Alabama. You're like, oh my God, we're finally going to do this?
Be so fired up for that
20
game.
years of pent-up aggression,
Therapy.
Exactly. So, I think, and then Ole Miss LSU, I mean, you don't really have to sell too much on that one.
You have to say much there.
Especially, never mind that. I feel like every sport with Ole Miss LSU right now has that extra layer of, he's going to say something. He's going to tweet something.
Oh, he's already been at it this week.
Yeah, so something's going to happen, and we get to be, part of that too. So,
yeah, he's already been at it.
Yeah, I'm sure he has.
But that's what he does. It's like
it's part of
what happens
part
when
of the
you have
game
him.
with him. So.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Mark Etheridge is going to join us when we come back. I actually don't know where he's going this weekend. I would not surprise me if he's going to be at either Ole Miss or State. We'll ask, and either way, we're going to get his takes on the series upcoming this weekend. And what should you expect from Tennessee or LSU, depending on where you're going this weekend. We'll be right back in the Pearl River Resort studio.
From the sea.
Hey guys, what the heck are you doing?
Sports Talk Mississippi on your radio and in the game. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Borkey and Hadad with you. We go to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Making regular appearances at this point. It's just every time he comes on, he gives really good information and insight. So we're just going to keep asking him until he finally tells us to buzz off. Mark Etheridge of D1 Baseball joining us right now. So before you came on, we were talking about just how we have a pair of super compelling series in this state this weekend. Beautiful weather, huge crowds incoming. Which one to you is more interesting between State Tennessee and Ole Miss LSU?
Well, certainly if you look to Starkville, you have a Mississippi State club that got humbled last weekend, the most shocking result of the year. Losing the way they did to Georgia in a sweep. Not that a series loss, everybody gets hit, everybody loses, but the sweep was interesting, we'll say. And then in Oxford, if you know how to handicap that series, let me know, because, I mean, LSU has been so unpredictable all year. Ole Miss has been a bit up and down as well. I really don't know. I guess if I had to pick one, I might go LSU Ole Miss, and here's why. I feel like LSU is a team that if we staged a combine, the three of us put together a scouting combine this week, and we decided to rank all of the SEC players, LSU would have more than their share. That is a supremely talented team, but they just aren't playing to their ability. I mean, they lost to Bethune-Cookman this weekend in midweek. It's that they've got all this velocity on the mound, and they're not missing bats. They're not throwing enough strikes, and it's not necessarily walking people. It's getting in 2-0 counts and 3-1 counts and letting guys just feast on fastballs. And that to me has been really surprising, from an LSU perspective. And then Ole Miss, I mean, we everybody talks about it and it doesn't really change. I mean, if they hit home runs, they score. If they don't, it's a struggle. And they're pitching really well. It's a really strong, especially healthy. It's a really strong pitching staff. I feel like that's, if they're going to beat LSU, they're going to have to win, a 4-3 kind of game. I feel like that's, if you try to slug with LSU, I mean, they've scored 17 and 16 the last 2 game threes. That's probably not a good recipe, but that's a really tough series to handicap.
Mark, I'm going to give you 4 programs here that we have just kind of gotten used to hosting regionals over the last few years, and that's LSU, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. Which of those, none of those programs would host if the tournament was this coming weekend.
Oh, no.
Which one of them has the best chance to kind of maybe find their way back into at least the discussion?
I'll go even further. If you looked at their resumes today, none of those teams would make a regional.
Oh,
okay. So we are projecting when we do our regional projections and assuming that they're going to play better down the stretch. Okay. And they most likely will. However, right now, we look at their RPIs. I mean, it's not good. And look at Tennessee and their conference record. I mean, it's just not. You just don't make regionals like that. So that's where they are at this point. However, all of those teams are talented. All of those teams have experience. They have pedigrees of being able to turn things around. To answer your question, I probably have the most confidence in LSU right now, just because it's Jay Johnson. He's won 2 out of the last 3 national titles. I'm not going to bet against him. However, I mean, they certainly give you a lot of pause. They're just not playing real well. They're not real crisp. When you think about how good LSU was last year, they made every play defensively. They had those great pitchers, and they hit enough. And this year, it's not been that. So I feel like that's probably the answer. But yeah, it's been odd, and people have asked me this, and one of the things I like to speak about is how, in my opinion, this is certainly not able to be validated with facts, but it's my opinion that the sport has flattened and there's less difference between the top of the sport and the middle and less difference between the middle and the bottom. And the resulting results of that is that you don't have the super teams, you don't have the teams that can't beat anybody. Is instead of having 4 through 12 in the league beating up on each other, it's 1 through 16. It's really the kind of situation where it's a real crapshoot from week to week, and even in midweek.
Yesterday we had Kendall on with us and talking about some of this stuff. He said that, talking about Alabama, he's like, I think he said, I still don't think they're that great, or something along those lines. What do you think about the Crimson Tide?
Well, I think the first part with them is they're getting really good starting pitching. Tyler Fay, Zane Adams. In this league, they're giving length And we're in an era where everybody throws hard and nobody throws strikes. And a lot of teams, their starting pitchers are giving them 4 innings, and Alabama's getting 5 to 6 and sometimes more out of their top 2 starters. I think that if you talk to Rob Vaughn, one of the things he's going to bring up in the conversation, and Vaughn is Alabama's head coach, is that they want to be the toughest team on the field. They want to be gritty. They want to compete, and that team does. I mean, you can say that they may not be as talented, but they're going to get after you. And to this point, if you look around the league, you look at Tennessee and LSU and these teams that are losing Florida, losing close games, and Alabama, for the most part, has been able to win those 50-50 games. And that's why they're really I think they're playing above their talent, which is probably what Kendall was referring to, as opposed to some of the other teams, like the ones we just mentioned, that are not.
Mark, with Mississippi State, I want to go back to the Bulldogs for just a second. And the word you use, humbled. I mean, I agree with that. You know, they were really flying high. They had swept back-to-back opponents, and there was a lot of talk about, you know, this is going to be they're going to make a long run here. Tennessee coming in kind of humbled last weekend too, losing a home series at LSU. They really needed to get that. So you've got 2 teams that need to bounce back. It's Tennessee. I'm worried about Tennessee mentally, because they were the big bad bully of the SEC the last few years, and now they're not that anymore. When you watch that team play, what do you think of them?
I think that offensively, the top of their lineup is really good. I mean, Blake Grimmer is a guy who was injured earlier in the year, but he's coming out, and he's one of those that if you're at the concession stand or you're not paying attention to the batter's box and the ball, and he makes contact with the ball, you know it's him. It's one of those loud sounds that we've all heard. Yeah, he's a scary guy. Henry Ford's another legitimate bat in the middle of that lineup. They've got really strong starting pitching. Really, their top 5 to 6 guys are really good, and after that, it is a cavern. And I think as a result of that, they're losing a lot of close games where they just can't hold leads. I mean, if you think about what Tennessee's done in SEC play, at Georgia they had the ball. You remember Cole Johnson went over the wall with 2 outs in the 9th inning to save a home run that would have given Tennessee the lead. Then they get walked off 3 times at Vanderbilt. 3 times in one weekend at Vanderbilt. And then this weekend against LSU, blow a big lead Friday, blow a big lead Sunday, and lose that series. They're just not able to finish the deal. And some of that is they're young, they replaced a lot from last year, but really strong from a talent standpoint, but they're just not a lot of experience in these roles, right? You got guys needing to step forward. And then they go into a really challenging place to play against a team that's got to be pretty ticked off. I'm kind of worried about them too. I do feel like Mississippi State has a huge advantage this weekend, especially, whatever Foster gives them, in Game 3, I think that's going to be a key, because that's a game where Evan Blanco for Tennessee's pitched really well. I don't know what they'll have left behind him, but that's an advantage right now for Tennessee in that game. But, I really like where Mississippi State is from a talent standpoint. The offense has been good. I just think they ran into a Georgia team that believed, that played well that weekend, and it's one of those deals where everybody's going to have a bad weekend, and you just hope you limit it to one, and that's where that's what we'll find out this weekend.
We will find out. Great baseball all over the Southeast this weekend. Mark Etheridge is a guy to follow if you want to keep up with that. Mark, we always appreciate you, man. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Take care.
Mark joins us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Massive SEC baseball series all across the this is the point now where you got to start making your move if you want to play in the postseason, if you want to host, if you want to do a lot more than that. This is the time. We'll talk some more when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi with you here on a Thursday.
Is the English way. The time is gone. The song is over. Thought I something more to say.
From the venerable.
Okay.
Let's go.
To the junction, in the grove, and to the top.
Don't hurt yourself.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
On SuperTalk Mississippi.
Stat of the day via our friends at the Next Round. So you guys may not have seen this. I know where the foreign countries play warm-up games ahead of the World Cup is not a particularly compelling storyline, but this is funny, I promise. Argentina has announced that they are playing 2 World Cup warm-up games in American stadiums, more specifically in SEC stadiums. Playing 1 game at Texas A&M, which will be the, if they sell it out anyway, the highest attended game that Messi's ever played in, ever. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that would track. Yeah,
and then also at Auburn is where Argentina is playing 2 games. That is in terms of location. So Argentina is playing road games at Auburn and at Texas A&M. A more difficult schedule than what Notre Dame is playing this year. Notre Dame's road games are Purdue, BYU, Syracuse, and North Carolina.
That's kind of funny. That's just funny.
That's just funny.
I don't care who you are.
I don't know how you get in on this. I would love to see Ole Miss and State. Yeah, it's probably too late, but I would love to have seen them get in on something like this. This would have been awesome.
You know, not that State and Ole Miss have small stadiums, especially when we're talking about soccer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Messi has played in much smaller, but 65,000 seats versus 85,000, 95,000, 100,000. These promoters aren't going to look to come here. So.
Yeah, but like Portugal or maybe a lesser country than Argentina, who is probably going to win the thing, or at least has a really good chance to win the thing anyway, would have been a cool thing. But hey, we get Jelly Roll. So
yeah, we get Zach Bryan.
I will not be in attendance for either.
No. One of my kids will be at the Zach Bryan one.
Really?
That's it. Yeah, one of them will.
Hey, more power to. I'm not a hater. If you like that music, man, go have fun.
Go.
It's just not for me. Yeah. I'm not the demographic. I don't get Jelly Roll and Zach Bryan. I don't understand.
I'm not a huge live music guy anyway.
Yeah.
So
packed out stadium and then bro country on top of that.
Yeah, it's just not for me. But if it's for you,
go have fun.
Yeah.
You're also really benefiting Ole Miss and State both with those concerts. It's a big deal to get stuff like that in your stadium on your campus. Big deal. I just don't get it.
It's massive, yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, it is what it is. So,
although Something in the Orange, pretty great song. Zach Bryan, that's a great
is that a Zach Bryan song?
That's a very well written song.
I'll take your word for it.
I like that one. But I'm more excited to see the Goo Goo Dolls, which maybe that says more about me than those of you that are going to the country
Paul
concerts.
And Brandon says, the stars on these teams don't play in the friendlies. We were about to go to Atlanta last week to see Ronaldo. My son said, don't worry about it because he wasn't going to. He wasn't going to play, and he didn't. Well, there you go.
Well, these warm-up games, aren't these the ones that are right before the World Cup, so you do have the A guys that play for a little while? Because like the American A guys play for
this one is close enough to the start of the World Cup that they're going to
they're going to play some.
Messi's going to play a few minutes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because even the Americans in the last 2 friendlies, a lot of the A guys played, but they didn't play for very long. So, do you see Pulisic is falling victim to an internet mob incorrectly saying that he has or had a dating app for famous people before he and his girlfriend broke up?
There's a dating app for famous people?
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but it is a very, you have to pass.
Are we famous enough to get up on it?
Oh, no.
Okay.
You have to.
Not that I need it. I'm asking for others,
You have to, apparently you have to pass some kind of background.
Is it like Cameo? They're going to look into you before they let you just do these things?
And he had a profile on this dating app for celebrities, but
LeBron James of soccer. That was his username.
Yeah. And Pulisic and his girlfriend broke up apparently, but she shared on Instagram a screenshot from this thing. It was like, I can't believe he's already on this app. And it was a profile from years ago before they got together, but the internet drummed that back up to make Captain America look bad. and look like he was a cheat.
That's a rough one.
And he's not. We're trying to bring down our own American star. The internet was a mistake.
That's how life works. You know how that goes.
Somebody sent us a screenshot of a fake story on Facebook mourning the loss of Archie Manning.
I heard about that, yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that you get on the internet these days. I don't know how you fix it. I kind of feel like those platforms should be responsible for stuff like that. But then again, we've seen an example where they over-censored and then it becomes an issue. So I don't know what the answer is. But, I mean, there are thousands of people that will see a post on Facebook and send a prayer up for the Manning family today. And it's just, that's messed up.
I mean, we had that thing, what was it, a couple years ago where the Clarion Ledger just tweeted out, Archie Manning is 75.
That was the worst.
He wasn't dead, and it wasn't even his birthday.
Nope.
And I was just like, what is happening?
Archie Manning, 75.
Grandfather
And it was a photo gallery is all it was.
Yeah, just a photo gallery. Like, when I found it wasn't his birthday, that's when I lost it. I was like, it's not even the man's birthday.
You guys are shameless.
Yeah.
We will be right back after the news. We've got Wilson Alexander coming up, the college football fix coming up. This NFL story may or may not get to. Hadad's not really keen on it, but it is good for fans if it happens. We'll see. Anyway, Sports Talk Mississippi, hour 1 in the books.
To the sports. This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
Sounds good. On SuperTalk Mississippi.
A Monday warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Here with you on Thursday afternoon. I'm Brian Hadad. He's Michael Borkey. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've looked outside, but it's beautiful out there. And look, hey man, I know. You see weather like that, you're like, what can I do that's fun? You got to take care of the yard first before you get out on the golf course, before you head to Dudy Noble or Swayze Field this weekend. You gotta take care of the yard. Make it easy on yourself and buy a John Deere mower, a John Deere tractor from our friends at Ag Up. Right now, you can get a John Deere 3025E with a loader for only $365 a month with 0% financing for 84 months. If you've been thinking about upgrading your equipment, if you've been thinking about getting your first tractor, you're not going to find a better deal than that from our friends at Ag Up. And these prices aren't going to stick around like this great weather is. Visit any of their 15 locations or check them out online at agup.com. Ag Up is your down-home dealer. They tell you what's up on Sports Talk Mississippi in about 13 minutes. We'll be talking to Wilson Alexander of On3 Sports, one of their new college football national writers. Of course, however, he was for many years the LSU beat writer for the Baton Rouge Advocate. Maybe we'll ask him an LSU question. Maybe we'll ask him how Lane's doing. I don't know. We'll see about that a little bit later. Plus, Borkey has a question that for Mississippi State in the college football fix, for Mississippi State, it will require some thought.
It's a very difficult question for State. It's the easiest question of all time.
It is the easiest question of all time. There's literally never been an easier question. If someone were to ask me, hey, Brian, would you like some ice cream? The answer to that question would not be easier than the answer I'm going to give when he asked me the Ole Miss question. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Yes. That's where we are.
That is exactly where we are.
When I read that, I can't wait to do it, but I read that, I was just like,
there's so many directions that you
for
can
State,
go
I can
with
go
it.
a lot of different ways. Not any different. There's no chance. Ole Miss is like, well, it's this.
I do think that we are going to over-talk, and by we, I mean society as a whole, the Ole Miss LSU game.
Oh, you're giving it away.
But we're going to over-talk that game. By the time the game comes, everybody's going to be sick of talking about that game.
Yeah, in some ways.
Because we're already in April doing the look at the ticket prices. Oh, it's all because of like that back and forth. It's just it's April.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just let it all happen. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna enjoy it. So, that said, there'll be football at Davis Wade Stadium this weekend.
Yeah, you excited?
I'm excited to watch some college football. I want to see what I really want more than anything else is to walk out of the stadium Saturday morning and just be able to say, okay, I can't say that I know anything, right? You can't know anything. I just want to be able to say, I feel strongly about. I think I'm confident in my thought that this is true about Mississippi State football in 2026. If I can get that, feel like I'm doing pretty well.
I mean, the thing that you're watching for the most has got to be offensive line, right? That's the position where, I mean, you hope that they're just winning some one-on-ones and stuff like that. Camario's not going to get touched, but you can see if he would have, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you'll see it. You're like, oh, he had to do this. He had to scramble here or whatever. You know. Yeah, you'll have an idea. I feel like I'll have an idea, at least, of what the offensive line is going to be. But at the same time, maybe I can have a little better idea of what State's pass rush is going to look like as well. Because I'll be honest with you, there is the other side of that, right? If I feel like the offensive line is, it's double-sided in some ways. If the offensive line is just giving up a lot of sacks, if it looks like they're in trouble, then I can't walk away from that and say, well, State obviously has some great edge rushers, right? Mm-hmm. But if I feel like the offensive line is doing a pretty good job, but one guy keeps giving them some problems, that might be a really good sign. That's how you could look at that.
Who do you think, if you had to bet right now, nobody thinking rationally anyway is going to hold you to this. If you had to bet right now, what is the tackle-to-tackle offensive line?
Ooh, okay. I think Miles McVay starts at left tackle, the transfer from North Carolina. I think DJ Chester, the transfer from LSU, is your left guard. Cannon Boone returns. He'll play center. I think LJ, got a lot of initials going here. Mm-hmm. LJ Prudhomme, the transfer from Arkansas, is probably your right guard. Right tackle is where I have the most questions. Blake Steen is still missing some practice. I think that puts him behind. I think it's going to be a JUCO guy from the previous class who redshirted last year. I think Jaheim Shumpert Perkins will be the right tackle. So you got two guys who were here. JSP, yeah.
There you go.
So you got two guys that played at Mississippi State last year and three transfers.
How do you feel about that group?
I mean, I don't feel great. There's not a single guy in that group. You got McVay Boone has started a lot of games, and he's not bad, but he's not a top 5-6 center in the SEC, right? He's okay. Prudhomme and Chester are completely unproven. McVay is pretty unproven. Perkins is completely unproven. So ask me the question again.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't feel too great. There's just not a lot of guys who've played a lot of SEC football. Boone in the middle's played a lot of football in the SEC. You got some other guys who've played here and there, but there's not. It really does magnify when you say it out like that. State's inability to go out and get any proven offensive lineman in this portal class.
Yeah.
Now look, those guys could end up.
There were not many available. There really weren't that many.
Whatever was available, State didn't get them. They went out and got a bunch of talented guys. What's funny is this, State recruited Prudhomme really heavily out of high school. He was in the class of 25, right? Same with Mario Nash out of Kemper County. Same with Tyler Miller out of Laurel, two Mississippi kids. If you had just signed those guys as high school kids and they were coming back this year, I think people would be excited. Like, we signed the top 2 offensive linemen in the state and a top guy out of Louisiana, 4-star guy out of the state of Louisiana. And, they came in here, they've developed a year, now's their chance. The fact that they went somewhere else and now they're here makes you like, what's wrong? So that I just it's going to be difficult to gauge this offensive line if they're good. If they're bad, it'll be real easy to gauge.
Somebody says Chester's not unproven. He graded out well at guard. Don't let that awful tackle grade taint what he did at guard.
I mean, he was okay. When you say proven, how many starts do we have here?
That's the interesting thing about Ole Miss, too, is, I mean, guard to guard, you feel incredible about what they've got. All returning starters, really good offensive line by the end of the season, ran the football great. Their tackles are going to be, I think right now, I don't think Kern, the LSU transfer, is going to start. I think it's going to be Terez Davis, who transferred from Maryland, drew some starts at Maryland as a true freshman, was at Ole Miss last year. And then Kinsler, the Miami transfer, a lot of people wanted him, but he did not start on that Miami team last year. So how good are they going to be? I don't have a clue. I have no idea. Apparently people are really high on Terez Davis. Yeah. He's somebody that when we had Bryson Sanders on, he made sure to say, because I asked him about losing their 2 tackles, and he was like, yeah, but Terez Davis is still there. Don't sleep on him, so I'll take his word for it. But you've got, I think it's 2 starts on your at offensive tackle going into the season.
That's
a big old question mark, underline, circle, tough. Point a red arrow to it.
Yeah. And Cole Kublik talked to us about that a little bit, about how the Ole Miss offense, you don't have to have guys who can hold up blocks for 3, 4, 5 seconds. They get the ball out quick. They run the ball quick.
Lacey's really good in pass protection.
Yeah. You got some things that you can work with there. But
that might get Lacey drafted. I mean, look, he's got all kinds of tools. But the thing that will get him drafted super high is when they put on the tape and watch him in pass protection. A running back of his status, being so willing to just wreck people in pass protection is good. The NFL teams are going to salivate over that. That's his best quality as a back. Is not only is like he knows what to do and like is, a capable pass protector, but he's violent when he does it. Anyway, also he is a turkey hunter now. So,
well, there you go. Where is he from originally?
Texas.
Okay, well, being a turkey hunter, I thought you were going to say something like he's from
No, there's just the pictures out there, and people are already photoshopping
something. Okay,
people are already photoshopping him holding the turkey like on various spots on campus and stuff. It's a whole deal.
Yeah,
you'll see that. If Ole Miss beats LSU, you're going to see a picture of Kejuan Lacey holding a turkey, but the head of the turkey is going to be Lane Kiffin. That absolutely is going to happen.
I mean, I'm down for it. You know me.
College football talk with Wilson Alexander when we come back.
Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you by Covington County Hospital in Collins, where your health matters.
Take the friggin' wax out of your ears. Did you hear me?
This is Sports Talk. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Woo! I say, sports fans.
Now, here's more on SuperTalk Mississippi.
We go back to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. He used to cover LSU. Now he covers college football from a national perspective for On 3. Wilson Alexander on your radio right now. And great timing, Wilson. We were talking before you came on about just the sheer anticipation of that game on September 19th in Oxford. I know you know the one we're talking about. Can you think of a game that will be more anticipated, and not necessarily because of football reasons, but you'll have 2 teams at a minimum ranked in the top 20 preseason that has this much hype, attention, anger, vitriol, internet trolling, etc., all combined into one?
You're talking about like the under 10 Little League game there in Oxford that weekend.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. M-Trade Park's got a big tournament that weekend. So
there it is. Yeah, I was talking to a coach, sometime in the past few months about that game, and he predicted that it would be the most toxic college football game in history, which, definitely has a chance. I mean, there's been some, that will be up there. You don't want to get too sucked into recency bias. You got Catholics versus convicts and stuff like that, but I mean, it's going to be up there. I think so often when talking about that game about, Lane Kiffin's return to Tennessee, what was it, almost a decade or so after he left there, and how he was treated when he went back to Knoxville. Well, this is less than a year later after leaving Ole Miss. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be I can't wait to see what Ole Miss fans kind of cook up for his return and how Ole Miss administration handles that from like a safety standpoint, because it has the potential to get pretty unhinged. I'm sure College Game Day will be there. I would expect an evening kickoff, all of those things. It should be awesome.
Wilson, that's the game that we've all got circled here in the state of Mississippi for the early part. For LSU, though, they have and I know that you got this national job, but we're going to talk about LSU for just a second here. They do have Clemson week 1, and I don't think Clemson, that game is not what it was last year when it was a top 10 matchup. I really don't know what Clemson is going to be. Is there any concern on the LSU side of looking ahead from the season opener?
No, I don't think so, because you've got a marquee opponent week 1 that is, won national championships even fairly recently. I mean, LSU, remember, played Clemson. Nobody on either of those teams really is still there, other than like Dabo. But, back in 2019, they played each other. And so I think LSU would take it seriously. And, it's your week 1 opening game of the Lane Kiffin era, a home game in Tiger Stadium. The fan base is going to be charged up for it. I mean, they checked out the second half of last year in particular. And so there's been so much excitement around Baton Rouge that I would think that they are ready for that game. And I would not expect them to be looking ahead to Ole Miss too early.
So I asked Michael Borkey yesterday, I said, we were going through some teams, and I said, I want some bold predictions. And when we got to Georgia, he said national champions. And I thought that was pretty bold, even though this is a team that you and we all know the talent level is elite, but something has been missing this past couple of years. Does Georgia have what it takes to finish the season on top?
If the defense can get a little bit more of a pass rush, maybe. I mean, that's been the big difference between their teams in 21-22 when they went back-to-back versus, especially last season, but even kind of the year before, was like the defensive front just isn't really what it was when you were stacking, Jalen Carter and so many of those guys there up front, Nolan Smith, et cetera. To be able to just kind of like roll with a 2 deep, that was pretty much generational. I mean, Georgia just hasn't had those dudes up front, and they've been, I think, okay at stopping the run anyway. But like their pass rush last year just wasn't there, especially when they only sent 4. And so I think that's, if they can do that, and if they can get replace their production at receiver. I mean, Zachariah Branch and Dylan Bell are gone, and they bring back London Humphreys, but they need some guys to hit in the portal. They need some of their guys who were freshmen last year to be ready now as sophomores. And, if you do those things, then Georgia could certainly compete for that and maybe win a national title, but they got a lot of work to do.
What do we think about, when we're talking about the SEC this year, last year A&M in the playoff, Texas doesn't make the playoff. By the way, Michael's bold prediction for Texas was doesn't make the playoff again, which would talk about setting people off.
Miss the playoff, Sark gets fired.
That was that's as bold predictions go. That's pretty good. I don't see that happening. I think that both Texas and Texas A&M have great chances to be in the playoff this upcoming season. Wilson, who do you think has the better chance?
I'm going to say Texas, which feels like getting sucked into just like Texas hype, even though Texas A&M is the one that actually went to the playoff last year, and they're also bringing back their quarterback. That maybe that would be more wise to go with the Aggies. I really like what Mike Elko has done over there. Just the toughness that they play with has been impressive. But Texas, once again, it kind of feels like a lot of things have aligned for them. And last year, it just felt like, at least for me, I was like, why is everybody going all in on Texas already when Arch hasn't played very much? I didn't really understand that outside of just the name. And it was kind of what we thought. But over the course of the year, he started getting a lot better. And if he can play like he did then, when adding guys like Cam Coleman and the running back they got from NC State and all of that, then they could be really good, especially if the defense is able to maintain what it was able to do the last season in particular.
Will order be
So
restored?
I'll go with the Longhorns, but I don't know that I feel great about it.
Will order be restored in the Big Ten, or is Indiana going to continue to just go against every trend in the history of the conference?
Sorry, repeat the question.
Is order going to get restored in the Big Ten? Is Ohio State, Michigan going to be on top, or is Indiana going to continue to just change the course of history in that conference?
Well, there's no reason to think that they're just going to go away based on what they've done 2 years into the Kurt Signetti era with two different quarterbacks, and now they've got Hoover from TCU up there. If he's able to play well and be a little bit, maybe let's turn the ball a little bit over a little bit less than he did at TCU, then they could very well be right back up at the top of the Big Ten. They're physical. They just don't make mistakes. So they're able to do that again, then you would think that they're right back up there. But Ohio State, with Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sayin, they should be formidable once again there in Columbus. I don't know about Michigan. New coach. Can Bryce Underwood in year 2 be a little bit more dynamic as a passer? That'll be key for them. I would probably early here still think it's probably Ohio State and Indiana at the top of the conference, with Michigan kind of on their heels.
The Big 12, I thought, was going to be an every-year crapshoot, but then Texas Tech decided to start spending some real money. Is there anybody in that conference that can really challenge them on top this year?
It's hard to say. I mean, because of what the reason you just gave. I mean, they're spending. They're getting good players. That defense last year was nasty, and if they were able to do good work in the portal again, which you kind of got to let that see it. Obviously, the rankings were good, but you got to kind of see it bear out. Then they should probably be at the top of the league again. I don't know if this team is capable of engineering, the one I'm about to mention, quite a turnaround to really challenge them. But I'm just fascinated to see what Oklahoma State can do. Bringing in Drew Mestamaker and basically the entire North Texas offense over with Coach Eric Morris from North Texas, where they were so prolific offensively. I mean, that was a program that had really kind of lagged behind the past few years. They don't necessarily have the resources, but if that offense can translate, which is a big if, then I wonder if they're able to make some noise. But I don't know that they could win the league.
Should be an outstanding college football season for us coming up. And it's just April. We're going to be talking about this for a long way. Wilson Alexander. First, Wilson, congratulations on the new gig, by the way. Looking forward to having you on a lot more to talk about a lot more than LSU.
Look forward to talking to y'all more, too. Thank you again.
Wilson Alexander joins us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. On 3, man. They just find guys.
Just hiring everybody.
Well, good
like
for them.
Oprah giving out cars.
Yeah, well,
Or troubles to people in the state of Hawaii, but maybe that's more for Mornings with Richard Cross.
Oh. Didn't know we were going to talk about that. Okay.
I mean, we need to keep a track of every random reference we make on this show, and every day have a graphic. And just the word Oprah goes on the graphic. Out of context, things that we've said on this show every day.
I think we should have a graphic of how many times we say we're going to let Richard Cross handle that. And we can make we can make a super clip of that that's more for Richard Cross, but that's more for Richard Cross, so on and so forth.
I do think we should do that, though. So we already got Oprah in there. What was the other guy? The Miz?
The Miz, yeah.
The Miz got in there.
Yeah.
We should do that. Need to get a notepad in here and just start writing them down. Sports Talk Mississippi. Wilson joined us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. So glad that you guys are with us on this Masters Thursday. The sun is setting. You've got shadows taking over the course right now. This is just an awesome time to watch the tournament. So keep us on if you want to watch. Don't leave us, but it's worth a look. Golden hour's coming at Augusta. We'll be back.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Are you ready?
On the SuperTalk app, supertalk.fm, and always on your local SuperTalk Mississippi station.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Michael Borkey and Brian Hadad with you. Masters going on right now. The course is already firm and fast. Scotty and Gary Woodland both had little half wedges into the 13th green, and the ball hit hard and skipped basically off the back of 13. That is a beautiful sight. Just a beautiful sight. But anyway.
I know you're a big fan of that.
Today is Local News Day. By the way, Americans overwhelmingly say that local news and information is the most important and the most trusted for them. We have that for you here at SuperTalk. You hear them during the commercial breaks, but they do more than just news updates during the breaks. I have been at SuperTalk since I graduated college. Well, sort of. We had a buddy whose family had a house in Destin, and we couldn't get jobs.
We don't need your whole biography. Just tell about the news people.
We couldn't get jobs right away, so we hung out in Destin applying for jobs and had a good time fishing every day. But that turned into the job here.
That just makes me laugh. Really. Let me tell you about our news people via my own story.
But since that began, since that started, that was 2014. That was fall of 2014. Since I've been here, we have had a news department. Used to be News Mississippi, now SuperTalk News. It is better now than it ever has been in terms of coverage, the depth of it, investigations, writing in particular is the best it's ever been. And so check them out. SuperTalk.fm is where you can read their stories. Obviously, you hear the updates every day, but whether it's the stories you hear on the air, possibly see online, and you should go to supertalk.fm every day to get up to date on the news here in the state of Mississippi. And oh, by the way, it doesn't cost you anything. No paywalls, none of that stuff. When you pull up the website, you don't have 7 ads pop up, and
just 4.
It's easy to read our articles, and so check them out at SuperTalk News.
Agreed.
Somebody says, have y'all talked about another mass exodus from the state basketball team? Thoughts about Jans having to completely retool the roster? Again, you could delete some of the words in there and say the same thing about Ole Miss. We did mention it earlier. The teams weren't good.
They weren't good, so yeah. I was surprised, though, today to see Sergei Makarov. He's going to UCLA. So that makes me wonder did State miss the boat with this guy? When I see that makes me wonder. I didn't wonder that last with the football, right? When I saw Javen James and Kedrick Bentley-Jones headed to Alabama, I was like, in case you're not watching on SuperTalk TV, you can probably guess the face I'm making. But this one makes me go, did State miss the boat on this guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that being said, Hubbard going to be back. King Grace announces he's back. I think Jamarian Davis-Fleming ends up back at State. We'll see how that turns out. You're bringing in a really good high school class, your most highly rated high school class, so some of those guys can probably contribute. You got to nail your evaluations this year. So, I'm not worried about it from an NIL perspective. They'll have the money. It's just about the evaluation part of it that it has me concerned a little bit.
Yeah. Same thing with Ole Miss. I mean, it's a team that was not very good. They won 12 regular season games. So retooling a roster is not the worst thing in the world. They've got the money. Now, they're not going to go buy a national championship caliber roster. I don't think State will either, because, Kentucky exists, and they will spend more than their football team if they have to. But the money's there. It's just, are the evaluations? We'll see. No portal commits yet for either. Those are going to start coming in pretty quickly, though.
Yeah, you would think so.
How much would it cost if you want an SEC mascot to show up to your birthday party or wedding or whatever? Our friend at Foyaball, this cracked me up, asked everybody, hey, if I wanted your mascot to come to my wedding, how much would it cost me? Now, unfortunately, for the Ole Miss one, the answer that he got was ask, and he has on the site, it's the picture of the lizard can opener. I don't think that exists anymore. So I don't know what would show up if you did try to get a mascot appearance. I mean, maybe the dog that Lane Kiffin abandoned when he left and took the LSU job could make an appearance. I don't know, but here's the rest of the league anyway. Texas, $750 an hour if you want the Texas mascot to show up to your event. $500 for Arkansas, $450 for South Carolina's mascot, affectionately known as Cocky. The Georgia mascot, what do they call him, by the way? Not the real dog, the fake dog.
It's Harry, isn't he?
Is that Harry?
I believe that's right.
$400 per 30 minutes. And they won't go over 30 minutes, though. So it's not $800 an hour. They will only do 30-minute appearances for $400.
So hold on. You tell me if I call Georgia right now and tell them I want him for 2 hours. I'll give you $1,600. They're going to say no.
That apparently was the answer that was given. Yeah,
that's fascinating. Okay.
$400 for Kentucky, $350 for the Florida Gators. Both of them per 20 minutes. Now they will go over.
You get
20
Al
minutes.
And Allie?
You get both at $350 per 20 minutes. So that's $1,200 an hour.
Okay.
No, that's.
Hold on.
I did the math wrong. It's per 20 minutes.
20 minutes, $400.
$400. $350.
$350 for 20
minutes.
minutes.
$950 an hour.
Correct.
For the two of them.
No. Mm-hmm. It's $1,050. $350 plus $350 is $700 plus $350 is $1,050. Yeah.
$350 for LSU.
It's not math talk, Mississippi, folks.
$350 for Smokey. Apparently $300 for Mississippi State per mascot. So there's the boy dog and the girl dog. If you want both,
yes,
it's $600 an hour.
You don't know?
I don't know the.
You know the
I don't
male.
know any of the mascot.
You know the male's
names.
name, the boy name.
It's just Bully.
It's Bully.
Yeah.
The girl is Belle.
Belle.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to misname the female dog.
This is something, and if somebody from Mississippi State is listening, just text me because I've always wanted it. People ask me this a lot too. Is Belle Bully's girlfriend, or is Belle Bully's sister? No one knows.
Not sister.
Why couldn't they just, be
not sister,
a brother sister who love Mississippi State?
They're a couple. They love each other
know that.
and Mississippi State.
I don't know that, so I want somebody to give me the lore.
Well, okay, brother sister probably makes more sense because they do look so similar.
Make a lot more sense in West Virginia, but that's okay. Anytime I can get him to be quiet for a second, I heard the little. Oh, I got a text. It's not related to that. Never mind.
$300 for Missouri's, $250 for Vanderbilt, and the rest are ask. Auburn actually provides a nice service. They only charge if they have to leave the county. So if you have a wedding in town, they'll let the mascot show up.
So hold on. Cam Newton's getting married in Atlanta. Aubie won't show up for that? No way.
No, so Aubie would charge to leave the county. It's free in the county.
It's free in the county?
Yeah.
For a wedding?
For a wedding.
What about for a birthday?
I don't know.
See, these are the questions.
Cocky, last year, South Carolina's mascot.
Mm-hmm.
$84,000 it earned in appearance fees last year. Yeah. $84,000. 351 appearances last year for South Carolina's mascot.
I mean,
that's insane.
That's easy money too for the university, right? All you got to do is show up with the suit and drive them there. I mean, how many of those do you think were not within driving distance of the University of South Carolina? How many times do they have to get on a plane? I would tell you this: if you were in a situation where you got to fly them out there, you got to pay for that too. It's not the appearance fee is not enough. You've got to cover the transportation. Like if it's within driving distance, we will drive the mascot there. You don't have to worry about it. But if I got to buy a plane ticket, you're covering that too. That's the way it's got to be.
Apparently, AI says that Belle is recognized as the girlfriend of Bully. That's what AI says from Lucas and Union.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, there's an Instagram page. Maybe I need to look that up.
Somebody says, I thought the name of the live Georgia Bulldog mascot is Ugga. No, that's the real
live
dog. These are the mascot mascots.
Yeah.
The fuzzy, big-headed things that the kids like.
Right.
You don't want to take Ugga anywhere. That Bulldog can't breathe. Poor thing.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, I found it. It just says the official Instagram page. of Mississippi State mascots Bully and Bell. But it also says there's a special Valentine's delivery, and it's got them. Maybe they are. I can't tell. I can't tell. I don't know.
See, this is why we need the out-of-context graphic every day. Are the Mississippi State mascots boyfriend and girlfriend?
We would know. You know, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
You can imagine we got a lot of text making jokes about.
Yeah. I'm reading them. Yeah, just calm down. We're all living in the same state, y'all. Why don't we just go with my West Virginia joke? We can all get on board with that, can't we?
Country roads.
Yeah.
Take me home.
Our family tree. It has no branch.
I was going to say, how's going wrong?
I'm just saying,
West Virginia.
Mountain Mama.
She's
my sister. There you go. We're all on the same page.
We'll be back. Sports Talk Mississippi.
From the 97.3.
Introducing to you Sports Talk Mississippi.
Borkey and Hadad with you, Sports Talk Mississippi. I do love how much this show reaches. And it's a credit to a lot of people, not either one of us. We fell backwards into this, but
yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
So,
however, we did reach Bully himself.
Yes. We got a person here who texted us who said, we're third-partied here, but Bully himself just texted me. Nah, no relationship, just two dogs. They're honestly more brother-sister vibes opposed to a committed relationship. So they're friends. All right, that's fine.
Okay, who friend-zoned who?
Bully's been around. He's the OG. He friend-zoned her, I think.
So then it's likely one of them thinks that they are in a relationship more so than the other.
Now I think we're reading too much into it, if we're being totally honest.
It's one of those classic, the kids call them situationships, where if you asked her if she had a boyfriend, she would say yes, and if you asked him if he had a girlfriend, he would say no.
Right. Another one here from the C-Spire text line. I have a friend from West Virginia, graduated from West Virginia University. He told me once that country roads isn't about the state of West Virginia. It's about Western Virginia. You two are well-traveled guys. Have you heard this before? Here's the situation. This song is not about West Virginia. It's about the western part of Virginia. One of my all-time favorite, I don't know if you call it a meme or it's just a TikTok or whatever.
Some drunk college kid on video.
It cracks me up every time. Here's the situation.
He's locked in, too.
He was absolutely. That one and the, what was her sister? A witch!
The Wicked Witch
You're
of
going
the
to tell
East,
me
bro.
I'm wrong?
Grow up.
Those two crack me up every time. I will listen to them anytime. Yes, I had heard that. To answer your question.
Largest margin of victory for Mississippi State football against a conference opponent is what? And you got to name the opponent, too.
They beat Ole Miss once, way back in the day, by 60, I want to say.
In 1936, Mississippi State beat Sewanee.
Oh, Sewanee.
68-6. That's the largest margin of victory in SEC games. Ole Miss was in 1957 a 50-0 victory over Tulane.
I mean, these aren't even really even.
Big swing and a miss by Tulane. Not sticking around. Mississippi State appears on this list two other times as the team that beat them for their largest margin of victory. Do you know, or can you think of what those games could be?
Without knowing for sure, it's probably LSU and Alabama. Am I right?
Alabama's is a 71-0 win over Vanderbilt in 1945.
Okay, so that's not it. LSU?
LSU's is a 62-0 win over Tulane in 1965. I'll give you a hint, though. This will give it away.
Florida.
Florida's is a 1994 73-7 win over Kentucky.
I thought 52-0 might be it.
One of them was in 2003.
Trying to remember that. I remember that year, obviously. It can't be Tennessee. That game wasn't that.
It is a 52-6 loss to Arkansas. That is the Razorbacks' biggest margin of victory.
There's
in
two of them,
conference
though,
play.
right?
There's another one.
Well,
when were you born?
75.
So before you were born.
It's got to be like it's. I'm going to say Auburn.
56-0 in 1970 to Auburn.
It's got to be a team you played a lot. So
Vanderbilt beat Auburn 47-0 in 1948. Texas A&M beat Arkansas 58-10.
I wonder in the last. You're going to make me look during the break. Last 10 years, what's the biggest SEC win for State and Ole Miss? So that would be.
Ole Miss beat Vanderbilt by a bunch. I think A.J. Brown.
Off the top of my head, I'm wondering if State's is the Egg Bowl in 2016. I'm at 35.
And could Ole Miss's be the 08 Egg Bowl? Or that's not in the time frame you're talking about.
It's not a time frame. The last 10 years.
Yeah, what was it? Mingo went for like 250 against Vanderbilt.
I remember that game. Yeah. That was the year they could not throw the ball that year, except for that game.
That was a COVID game, wasn't it?
No, that's 2019.
It was 19.
Yeah. I think. Or maybe that was 2022. Mingo wouldn't have been in 2019. Yeah, 2022, I think. Kiffin was there. Yeah.
Kiffin was there. It was a Kiffin game.
Yeah.
And Mingo went for $1 billion.
I'm going to look it up here. I'm going to get us the this last 10 years. What is it? I know it's not in the last 2 years for State, so we can move on from that. Not in the last 3 years either, now that I think about it.
What was the score when State beat LSU in Baton Rouge?
They won by 10.
The Mike Leach game?
Yeah, they won by 10.
They were killing them, though, right? And then
No, the game was close the whole way. State couldn't get stops.
They just kept scoring.
Yeah.
They kept scoring. Sports Talk Mississippi. Your college football fix is coming up after the news.
Sparkle, senses going keen. Takes me love along the way. See if never spring. Kinda makes me feel sometimes. Couldn't help it, no. We are eagles, all one nest, the masters in our soul.
Talk Mississippi continues.
All right, quick trip to my man jhal.net's webpage with all the scores on it has answered our question. So, Michael Borkey, I'll put the question to you. Last 10 years, what is Mississippi State and Ole Miss's biggest conference win? I will give you one hint. It's against the same team.
Vanderbilt.
Nope.
Really?
It's Arkansas.
Arkansas.
So it's for Ole Miss, it's a lot more recent. 2024, Ole Miss beat Arkansas by 32 points.
Oh, that's the giving Henry Parrish carries late in the game when you were winning by 1 billion points and he blew out his knee and then your season went to crap game.
63-31 is the final. Mississippi State in 2018 beat Arkansas 52-6 in Davis Wade Stadium. So yes, it is the Arkansas Razorbacks have been the victim of the biggest wins in SEC play in the last 10 years for both squads.
They are just, completely, totally fallen off the map as Arkansas.
And yet they don't have the longest streak of losing seasons in the SEC. Let us not forget that.
That is Auburn.
Let's also not forget that right now it's the college football fix. The college football fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers, built Ford Tough, the best-selling truck in America, the Ford F-150. Are you looking for a new truck? Well, do you like things that are easy? Good news. It's easy to find a great truck at your Mississippi Ford dealers today. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Michael Borkey came up with the question.
The single most important game above all others on the schedules for Mississippi State and for Ole Miss. We'll save you the trouble. Ole Miss, it's LSU. For so many reasons.
It's not. even close.
For so many reasons, but the biggest one is not revenge on Kiffin as much as it is. Well, it was a big game, and also validation for Pete Golding, because this roster should win a home game, even against an LSU team that is as talented as that one. All right, so it's the biggest. It's a validation point for Pete Golding on top of it is LSU, which is a big game already, and oh, by the way, Lane Kiffin on the other sideline. Yeah, so that's an easy one.
No question.
Yeah, get that out of the way. What about Mississippi State?
I have 3 options that are all in the first 4 weeks of the season. ULM, I'm sorry, you don't make the cut. But do I want to go? Hey, my eyes are bothering me. Do I want to go at Minnesota? Do I want to go at South Carolina? Or do I want to go home against Missouri? Mississippi State has not won a home SEC game since. Do you know when?
The last home win?
Yeah, the last home SEC win.
Is it Arkansas?
The last home SEC win for Mississippi State was in 2022 when they beat Auburn on November the 5th. 2023, they won at Arkansas. 2024, they didn't win any conference games. 2025, they won at Arkansas. So that Missouri game, you kind of need to break through at some point and end that streak. At South Carolina is a big game, but honestly, if State's 3-1 after their first 4, and they win at home against Missouri and they win at Minnesota, you can survive the loss to South Carolina. It's just not that big a deal. So we'll take it off the list. If State loses to Minnesota, at that point, you're just going to be looking around going, okay, Levy's on borrowed time. So it's got to be that game. If State loses to Minnesota, what am I talking about on Thunder and Lightning that Monday, right?
It feels like there's no recovering if you can't beat Minnesota.
At that point, I'm just saying he's probably not getting the full season, right?
I mean, you still got to go to Baton Rouge, Austin, Ole Miss. You still have to play Alabama, Missouri, Oklahoma, who's going to be a preseason top 15 team, Vanderbilt, and Auburn. I mean, it's just if you can't. And football doesn't always work like that. Transitive property, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter if you can't line up and beat Minnesota. You're not winning adequate number of games.
Yeah. State needs to be 3-1 in their first 4. I don't see that happening if the one is Minnesota, right? If you can't win at Minnesota, you're probably not winning at South Carolina, and beating Missouri at home would be very tough as well. So it's got to be Minnesota for me. Minnesota. That's the one that if State can win that game, if State's 2-0, think about this season, right? State was 2-0, and I thought at the time we had a lot of optimism about Mississippi State. We thought, okay, this is a team that can get to a bowl game. And I know they got to one, but I'm talking about we thought that they were going to be a bowl-eligible team when the season ended because they started 2-0. If they can do that again, I think we have that same kind of optimism. But this year they might have the depth and the defense to actually do something with it. So, yeah, that's got to be the answer. Marty says, for Brian and maybe LSU, family issues of LSU was, buddy, I'm so used to that. That rolls off me like water off a duck's back. It's you guys when y'all lose. That's when the problems arise. People won't answer the phone.
There's an open date before that game too.
So I talked about that on today's podcast. I did a preview of LSU, and so State plays LSU after an open date. LSU plays State between trips to Lexington and Auburn. 2 places that aren't notorious for being easy places to win. I'm just saying, there's a whiff in the air of trap gaminess to that game for Mississippi State. The other side of that is,
especially when you have an offense that can take the top off and score.
And the other side of that though is that Kiffin enjoys beating Levy, I think, so he'll be looking at that.
Yeah, there's and not the friendly like.
No, he genuinely enjoys it, like for bad reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not friendly. They may tweet friendly. That ain't friendly. There's a reason that Levy's not said anything at all.
Yeah, I think if Levy had won a couple of these Egg Bowls, if the team was better, if his program was in a little better place, he might return fire a little bit. But he's also, I'll give Levy credit for that. Like, he's smart enough to know, like, hey, I don't need to be taking shots when my team can't back me up on the field.
And then all you do is open yourself up for for trolling. And who wants that? Nobody. So you might as well just say nothing, and he'll get bored and, like a toddler, find another toy to play with.
You're right about that. You're right about that. And that's
Jimbo fired back. That's why he loved poking Jimbo, because Jimbo wouldn't let it go.
Now his two, Lebby and Golding. Golding won't engage in that either.
No.
So I could see Golding I don't know what it would be, but I could see him just tweeting something if Ole Miss beats LSU.
All he does is the Sharks, though.
Maybe he'll just do that. Just send the Shark out and just put Shark and then in parentheses, not a commitment.
Or just different or something.
There you go.
See, I need to get off the internet for a lot of reasons, but that's the one right there. Is that discourse. You need to get away from it. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
It's not healthy at all.
Marty says he answers the phone. He knows who I'm talking about. It's not you, Marty. You're good.
Oh, man. All right, so SEC game. Take away Minnesota.
Then I'd say Missouri. Like, you lose a game on the road in the SEC, and that's not the end of the world, right? South Carolina is good enough that they can defend their home field. You need to snap that streak. We're talking about over 1,000 days since you've won an SEC game at home. Missouri's good, but they're not world beaters. You should be able to do something with that game. And it's kind of funny talking about that. You think about last year in that game at Missouri and how Ahmad Hardy just destroyed Mississippi State. But State should be better defensively this year. And I'm counting on that if that's going to be the case. So, yeah, it's got to be that one.
For sure. 601-879-4395, the C Spire text line. I got to get out of here after this.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, the Megalodons have another game tonight. And
I wish I had remembered. I'd have prepared something.
I will not say who, but we are.
Who's coming in?
Will.
Okay.
We are playing against a grandchild of a coworker tonight.
I hear you.
So I got to inspire the team with a classic pregame speech. Great moments come from great opportunity.
What's the other team's name?
I don't know. We don't find out until we get there.
It's like if we played the dinosaurs 10 times, they'd probably win 9.
Did I tell you how we arrived on Megalodons?
You did not.
So they wanted to be the zombies, but then we got blue jerseys. That's just what the league gave us.
Yeah.
So they wanted to be sharks. Like, okay, we'll be the sharks. And then we get to the first game, and in the team huddles, they do the little hands-in thing first, and they say, go Sharks. And all of my boys look around at each other. They're like, well, we can't be sharks now.
Yeah.
And one of them goes, what's better than a shark? And then one goes, Megalodon. And so that's why they're the Megalodons, because they had to be.
You one-upped them.
They had to one-up them. You couldn't have the same team name as the other team. But, yeah. So Willie's going to sit in for me while I go try to beat a coworker's grandchild in soccer. Here in a little bit.
In soccer.
And I'll be back tomorrow. We got a loaded show for you upcoming tomorrow. And for those of you, Hadad will probably tease it here in a little bit. May just straight up talk about it. But we have noticed that State fans have a lot of questions about the new thing. The new thing.
Yeah.
They will be answered on this show for you by the people in charge. And so be on the lookout for that tomorrow, as well as a baseball preview and everything that comes with that. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hadad and Will East have you the rest of the way. That was your college football fix, driven by Ford.
From the flatlands of Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Every minute worth waiting for.
Super Talk Mississippi.
What, no special entrance? No theme music? No Titantron?
Well, you didn't give me time.
You're already on the screen. People can see you're here.
No, I was working. I was talking to you during the break. I didn't have time to get everything ready.
Oh, I can't help you.
You think that just magically happens?
You should have just
kiddo?
been prepared. You knew you were coming in at 5:20. Will East in Studio X now. Brian Hadad here with you.
And what's wrong with Poison?
Nothing's wrong with Poison.
I interviewed.
Which one?
What's the guitarist?
CC DeVille.
CC DeVille. I interviewed him.
Yeah.
Tiny human.
He's very small. Did you know he's a classically trained musician?
I did not know that.
Learn. You know who Itzhak Perlman is, like the famous violinist?
No, I don't know.
Well, that was his music teacher. He basically went to Juilliard, I think, and then became the guitar player for Poison.
I interviewed him at what used to be the Bancorp South Arena. Now it's the Cadence Bank Arena.
Yeah, for now, and then I guess soon it'll be the Huntington Bank Arena.
Yeah, and his hair was taller than him. I mean, he is a small
He's tiny,
human.
yeah.
He's thin.
Yeah. Must be nice.
Yeah, must be nice.
What's that like?
But he was just, a barrel of energy.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
That's how those guys make it, though, and that you have to just be lots of energy.
You got, back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
They had some substances that helped them with the energy. But, you're going to be on stage performing it's one thing. I do 3 hours. I just sit here in this chair and talk, right? If I got to be moving around and getting people excited,
so
you got to be in good shape.
He told an interesting story. The way that Poison became, because there was like 1 billion of those hair metal bands back in the day in L.A., and he said the way that we got popular was through a little subterfuge. He said we would, on our posters, we would put that we were going to have free beer because they would open up for bigger acts. They would put that they were going to have free beer at their after party. And so people would go to the show, and as soon as Poison was done, everybody would leave to go to the Poison after party, and because they thought there was never ever any free beer, by the way.
Never any free beer.
Yeah, they would go to everybody would leave and go to the after party. So the club owners started saying, "Well, let's put them on last."
Yeah,
so that nobody.
Now
will
they're the
leave.
headliner. That's just smart business.
Pretty smart.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. All right. As we mentioned, Will East is in Studio X as Coach Michael Borkey had to get out, manager of Megalodon FC, had to get out there and hopefully coach the boys to a win tonight. Let's take a quick look around the SEC. So this is the series we've got this weekend. Everybody back on as far as I know. Let me double check this.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
We got some. We do have some Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but everybody's back. Everybody else is back Friday, Saturday. It's a little different. Oklahoma is at Vanderbilt starting Thursday night. Vandy has to win that series. But Oklahoma is kind of an interesting team. They're 22-10, but they're 5-7 in conference play. They haven't been great in SEC play. And then South Carolina is hosting. Missouri is hosting South Carolina.
So South Carolina,
Gross.
After firing the dude,
they've been better.
Yeah,
they've been better. They should have won the series from Arkansas.
That is the weirdest dynamic because that AD was the guy. Tanner was the guy.
What this has taught us, if anything, Will, is never hire a baseball coach to be your athletic director.
Where is that else? Where is that not worked out else?
Well, I'm just saying. There's enough proof. It worked at LSU, but LSU's kind of an outlier. They hired Nick Saban, and everything else kind of took care of itself. So, then we go Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the rest of these series. Florida is at Georgia. So if you're a Florida fan, you should be really excited because you're going to sweep Georgia this week because that's what Florida has done this year. Florida has been off and on. They've swept the first weekend. They got swept the second weekend. They swept the third weekend. They lost 2 out of 3 last weekend. This is the good weekend.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a top 5 series win. Congrats.
And Georgia's won 8 straight, something like that?
So they lost.
Did they lose their midweek game?
No. I'm talking about
like everybody else
in SEC play. Oh yeah, no. They they did not lose their midweek game. They did not. The final score was 28-3.
Oh.
They did not lose it at all.
Close.
Yeah. So they've won. I guess they've won they've won 6 straight in the SEC as well because they lost the Sunday game to A&M week 2, but I think they've swept through the last 2 weekends, which were South Carolina and then Mississippi State. So Florida at Georgia. We've got Kentucky at Auburn. That's a big series for both of those teams. Kentucky, started out really well, and then it's just lost. Did they lose the series? Or did they? I forget. I think they did. They lost the series to Missouri last week, which is just incredible.
You mean that dancing's not working?
Yeah,
I thought it was.
And Arkansas is at Alabama, and Arkansas, they are in dire straits right now. They got swept by Florida. They lose 2 out of 3 to Auburn. Now they got to go play Alabama, who may be the hottest team in the country. That's not good. Not good for the Razorbacks.
It's interesting how much things have changed in the last 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
If I told you Arkansas and Vanderbilt are struggling a little bit, Alabama's the hottest team in the SEC, or one of the hottest teams in the SEC.
Yeah.
You'd have gone, huh? What?
Well, and like with Vanderbilt, I always had a sneaking suspicion that when NIL became a thing, that Vandy was going to fall off. Last year, they were the number 1 overall seed going into the NCAA tournament. I was like, all right, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. Their advantages have been taken away from them, and now they're going to struggle.
They can't stack those pitchers like they used to.
No, they just can't.
Yeah.
So that's a big series for Arkansas. They got to find a way to win it, but in Tuscaloosa, that's going to be very tough. Here in the state of Mississippi, we have 2 monster series. Tennessee struggling, 4-8 in the conference. Mississippi State wanting to bounce back after what happened last weekend. We've talked to 2 different people now from D1 baseball, and they both are saying the same thing. They're like, I'm worried about Tennessee. I don't know about what's going to happen this weekend in Starkville. You got a mad Mississippi State team against this Tennessee squad that is just – it's crazy to watch them. Over the, you think about the last 3 years, Tennessee was the bully. They had more swag than anybody, and now they appear timid. It's kind of like what happens when you punch a bully in the mouth and you find out he's not really that tough. That's what's happened here with Tennessee, and so we'll see if Mississippi State can bounce back. And then, crazy enough, there's only 2 series between. Well, I'm sorry, there's 3. Never mind that whole line of thinking. You've got LSU at Ole Miss, 24 versus 25, but LSU. I don't know what to make of that. I just don't know what to do with the LSU Tigers at this point. And Ole Miss is.
So, the conversation with LSU has been, as of late, they're going to punt on baseball. Because,
I can't believe that. I refuse to believe it.
But that's thinking right now.
Yeah.
That, the team that they have right now
is loaded. They got players. They should be better than this. And we've had some LSU fans on the text line, namely my cousin, talk about, hey, on the weekend they've got there is no excuse for LSU to be losing these midweek games. They should be
to
10 times
Bethune-Cookman.
more. Bethune-Cookman and Northeastern and
Sacramento State.
They lost 2 out of 3 to Sacramento State. There's no excuse for this. There's none. So Tigers have got to bounce back.
And LSU they were the number 1 team at the beginning of the season, before the season.
No, they were number 2. Oh. UCLA has been UCLA has been wire to wire number 1 at this point. But Ole Miss, that getting that 5 spot in the top of the 9th last weekend on Florida may have changed the complete trajectory of Ole Miss's season. If they had lost that, if they had gotten shut out in back-to-back games, there would be a really bad feel. The vibes would not be good in Oxford. And instead, now you're looking at LSU, you're thinking, if you're an Ole Miss fan, you're thinking, we can win this series, and we can be off and running at that point. So,
in baseball versus all the other sports, besides maybe golf, is so mental. Like a couple weekends ago when State swept Ole Miss, the way they lost that first game, I think doomed them in the rest of that series.
Yeah, it was a gut punch.
Yes. You had the lead, they come back, and and that's why often in baseball it's like who's hot, and it's not a physical thing; it's a mental. Who believes that they can do this and go out there and block out, when they get up to the plate, block out all the bad stuff and come through and do what they need to. And so sometimes you'll see a team that, Ole Miss's national championship run, struggled for the majority of that season, and then had a turn, got hot. Mentally, they were playing cool as a cucumber.
There you go.
And did it.
One more series out in Texas. Texas is at Texas A&M. Get in the door price for this college baseball game to stand on the lawn for general admission is $52. Just to stand up, $52. You want a seat, you're going to spend about $250 a game. It's a regular season game. My goodness. SportsTalk Mississippi. Let's switch it over to football. We'll figure something out. I forgot that Borkey was leaving, so I'm kind of flying off the cuff here.
Great show prep.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It's fine.
Professionalism all the way around.
We're doing great. Back in just a minute. SportsTalk Mississippi.
From this.
Check this out. Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi. I'm Brian Hadad. Will East is in Studio X. Guys, the weather outside. What is the opposite of frightful? I know that's a Christmas song, but it is just fantastic. But before you go to the golf course this weekend, before you go to the baseball game, before you go do whatever, if you're out in the yard, John Deere green will make it go quick. It'll make it look great. It's everything you want, and you can get it at Ag Up right now. We've mentioned it earlier. A John Deere 3025E with a loader for just $365 a month, all part of their spring tractor blowout. But these prices, they're like the great weather. You know, if you live in Mississippi long enough, you know we're only about a month or so away from it, about 90 days, if you know what I'm talking about. Heat and humidity.
The dog days.
Get it while it's not hot at Ag Up. 15 locations across the state of Mississippi, or check them out online at agup.com. So, I've been a subscriber to The Athletic for a long, long time. And if you are an NFL draft fan, this week, The Beast came out. Now, what is that? That is a document by Dane Brugler, who's been on this show with us a few times, where he gives a draft grade and an analysis on all 2,700 players that are eligible for the NFL draft.
He goes through every player that's eligible.
It is a labor of love, my friend. It is unbelievable. If you are a draftnik, you can download a PDF that he offers it in PDF form. It's a 600-page PDF. I would download it, but I'm pretty sure the studio computer didn't have the memory for it.
Who is downloading? It's got to be mothers, okay? Dads.
There are people who,
I guess so,
really into the draft. I mean, you can just read it. You don't have to do that. But what I found interesting, just looking at, and I'm looking at it right now, is his top 10 quarterbacks. And I was trying to, in my brain, where would I put Trinidad Chambliss if he were in this class? So let's just go through the top 10. Number one, obviously, is Fernando Mendoza. It says the clear QB1, intuition, throwing accuracy, and confidence are superpowers. I've never been less excited about a potential number one quarterback than this guy. I'll be shocked if he's a great pro. I watch him play. Look, Indiana was a great team, and he had guts and the courage that he's talking about there, the intangibles off the charts. But I just don't know, man. I just don't know. I think he's the most boring Heisman Trophy winner of my lifetime.
Yeah.
So,
and also on a great team.
Yeah.
And
look, he added to that team. He wasn't. You think about some of those Alabama teams back in the day, and literally almost anybody could have quarterbacked them. Fernando Mendoza won games for Indiana, but yeah. Number two is Ty Simpson. This is the number 2 quarterback available in the NFL draft. All right, I'm going to read this. This is a 2-sentence description, and I want you. You're not really an NFL guy, are you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you are. Who's your team?
I hate to say this.
Oh,
I'm kind of a Tampa Bay Bucks fan.
Okay, well, that's nothing wrong with that. The Bucks are a good franchise. They've won Super Bowls. Like you're a Falcons fan or something.
What if I'd have said Falcons?
I've been like, then we just could never get along, Will. At that point, it's just. But all right, let's just say the Falcons aren't in the market for a quarterback. They have Baker, right?
Yeah.
But let's say they were. And I said,
Bucks, not Falcons.
The Bucks, I'm sorry, yeah. Let's just say that they were, and they were going to draft Ty Simpson. And this is the description. You ready? A Daniel Jones with fewer physical traits. Mid-level starter at best, backup at worst. Feel the excitement.
Wow.
That's the
Daniel
number.
Jones without the physical what?
Without the physical traits. In other words, Jones is a plus runner and Simpson really isn't.
And he must be ugly to boot,
Well, he's hideous. But, that's the number 2 quarterback in this draft. Look, I understand that, in terms of what he would make next year, Trinidad would make more at Ole Miss, but I still think he may be missing the boat here.
But to me, for him, it's the height.
It's all his. I said it yesterday. If Trinidad Chambliss was 6'5", he'd be the number 1 pick in the draft.
If he was 6'2".
Yeah. No, you're right. Number 3 is Garrett Nussmeier. We all watched him play, right?
Oh yeah.
An aggressive competitor whose throws can win games and lose them too. That is not what I want to hear from my quarterback.
That's better than the other one for Ty Simpson.
Yeah. Drew Aller is 4th. Goodness.
Oh, man.
This is you talk about a weak class. Impressive size and arm strength, but passing instincts need improvement. This is the NFL. The passing instincts need improvement? Shouldn't that be what happened in college? Number 5 is a player I've never heard of because he played at North Dakota State. Cole Payton, a dynamic dual threat prospect who will need reps and time to develop. Okay. I can live with that. Number 6.
You could also probably copy and paste that description
about 7 guys.
For about 58 guys on this list.
Yeah. Number 6 is Carson Beck. Ugh. I can't wait to see the reactions of the team that drafts Carson Beck in the 5th round. They're going to be like, why? A cerebral. That's the first time in the history of this planet that the word cerebral has been used to describe Carson Beck. A cerebral, experienced pocket passer, but may struggle playing out of structure. What that means is he can't take pressure.
That's system quarterback.
That system better be, I've got 5 elite offensive linemen in front of him.
Yeah,
Number 7.
Who also throws his own receivers under the bus when he struggles.
Yeah, I would not be happy. 2 years ago, going into the season, Carson Beck was going to be the first pick in the draft. Now he'd be happy if he's a 6th rounder. 7th, Talon Green. Boasts an amazing highlight reel and 37 turnovers the last 2 seasons.
I would say, though, Talon Green is one that has had a very bad team.
He had a terrible team around him. A better team.
Not even average.
His numbers might have been better. I'll just tell you right now, if Talon Green, the Saints need to take him and replace Taysom Hill. Let him play tight end, receiver, have some package plays for him, scheme him up. But that's where I'm going. Cade Klubnik is the 8th best quarterback. We have had some QB drafts in the past where 6 or 7 quarterbacks have gone in the first round. Now we're talking about are 6 or 7 quarterbacks even going to get drafted? Adequate arm talent, but inconsistent pocket presence, on track to be a backup. Do you draft quarterbacks that are on track to be a backup? Not to be a backup. That's their track. That's the path forward for him, is to be Chase Daniel.
If you do as good as we hope you will, you'll be 3rd string.
Yeah. Haynes King is 9th. Needs to see things much faster to make it in the NFL, but may make it as a backup. Seriously, 3 years ago, 6 quarterbacks went in the first round. The quarterback draft that had Penix and Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, and this is where we are this year. The 10th place guy is a guy I've never heard of, Joe Fagano, from Fagano Construction.
Maron.
I guarantee he has a sister named Marie.
Yeah.
There's just no doubt, right? All his life, he wanted to be a wise guy.
Marie, yeah.
A fundamentally sound passer who projects as an NFL reserve. So,
projects as a reserve?
Yeah. So the 10th guy they say is a potential 7th rounder, Fagano. The 11th guy is Joey Aguilar. 12th guy is Sawyer Robertson. Luke Altmaier is the 14th quarterback on this list. 17 quarterbacks total that he thinks have a chance to be drafted. Pavia is on this list at 16. And then, there's some names. I mean, Jake Retzlaff was pretty good at Tulane the past few years.
Pavia might be a good backup.
I would want Pavia on my team. I'll put it that way. If he's my 3rd quarterback, just to get everybody fired up.
He would be the quintessential most popular guy on the team.
Exactly. Exactly. Where would I rank Trinidad Chambliss in here? In terms of actual, just their play on the field, he's probably 2nd or hell. He might be 1st, honestly, over Mendoza.
The NFL is so big.
He's definitely 2nd. He's 2nd. His arm strength is okay.
It's okay, and that's something that can improve.
It's just his size. It's just the size.
And the teams that have had a history of going after quarterbacks who were shorter, a.k.a. Arizona Cardinals, it hadn't worked out.
So Larry's trying to pull a gotcha on me here, Larry and Mize. You said Garrett Nussmeier was an elite quarterback. Yeah, in August. Then I watched him play the season. I've said it many times on this show. When I get new information, I change my opinions. I don't lock in.
Wait. Didn't you give a description of Joe Burrow?
My description of Joe Burrow was completely accurate. I said he wasn't good as a junior, and he wasn't. That's all I said. He wasn't good as a junior. When he was a senior, he's the best quarterback in the country.
I think you said, I don't see it working out with Joe Burrow.
I never said any of that. I just said he wasn't good as a junior.
I just don't see that happen, guys.
It was accurate. I will not tolerate this cross slander of my Joe Burrow take.
Joe Burrow, that's never going to work out at LSU. Come on.
We'll wrap it up when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi with you on a Thursday.
From the
You're hearing Sports Talk Mississippi.
What? This is so
awesome on Super Talk Mississippi.
This weekend in Las Vegas, the NCAA tournament comes to an end. Now you're thinking, right now, you're like, wait, I thought that was already over. No. Hockey. The NCAA hockey tournament. It's actually going on right now. The Frozen Four is happening right now. As we speak, Wisconsin is leading North Dakota 2-0. And then on the other side of the bracket, it's Michigan and Denver. When we have moments like this, sometimes we always get this thing that we're going to bring up right now. And that's we get specialty hot dogs.
All right.
We got 4 hot dogs here.
Hot dogs at a hockey game.
Well, yeah, you have hot dogs at any sporting event. We have the Denver dog, topped with pork green chili, crispy tortilla strips, and sliced Fresno chilies. I got to be honest, looks pretty good.
I don't associate any of that with Denver.
Oh, Denver is well known for the pork green chili stew. It's a big thing.
They're known for something green, but it ain't
well,
chilies.
Yeah. I've been to Denver. I'm telling you, it's everywhere.
I'm sure you have, Cheech.
Marijuana. The North Dakota hot dish casserole dog. Are you familiar with hot dish?
No.
It's basically a tater tot casserole. This is a hot dog topped with savory sausage gravy and crispy tater tots. Not bad. The Michigan Detroit-style Coney dog. Smoky beef chili, diced onion, shredded cheddar, and yellow mustard. Pretty basic, really. Pretty standard, really. And then the Wisconsin cheddar dog, topped with creamy beer cheese, cheese curds, pickle red onion, and fennel. The fennel makes it really classy.
Yeah.
I would go Denver dog.
We classed it up a little bit.
Yeah, we put a little fennel on there. I would go Denver dog. Which one are you going with? I think you're going North Dakota, aren't you?
Yeah, I like the tater tots.
Tater tots and sausage gravy on a hot dog doesn't sound bad.
Hang on, I'm looking at a picture of them.
Yeah, you find it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God, Michigan is they were in the Final Four, won the national championship, and now they're in the Frozen Four, too?
Yeah, it's safe to say Michigan has embraced the transfer portal era in all sports, and they're doing pretty well.
The rich get richer. Oh, yeah, that North Dakota dog.
Did you just say the rich get richer? Because that's true, too.
I didn't say that. Yeah, I'd go for that.
The North Dakota dog?
Do you eat hot dogs on a regular basis anymore?
No. You know what those are, right? I can't say it on the air, but you know what those are made of. I
don't care.
So when I go to New Noble, they have smoked sausage dogs. I'll get those.
Yeah,
I like those. I'll eat smoked sausage all day long, but a hot dog, got to be grilled if I'm going to eat a hot dog. I will not eat a boiled hot dog. It's got to have some crisp on it.
Like a New York. If you've ever been to New York City, get a New York hot.
York City.
It's probably the worst thing you could possibly eat. You could probably eat trash that is better for you.
As Jon Stewart once said, the only acceptable condiments on a New York City hot dog are mustard, onions, and stagnant cart water.
They are delicious, though.
Yeah, I'm sure they're fine. So we wanted to go. There's this place in Chicago that sells hot dogs called SuperDog, and my wife was so excited to go there when we went last year. She's like, she wants to get a Chicago-style hot dog. But I've mentioned this before, an awful shellfish allergy, and they sell fried shrimp. And she was like, well, I'm out. No. She was so disappointed in that. But no. I couldn't help that.
I'm going to tell you, it didn't get much better around the East household than a chili dog.
Well, you married a Greek lady. The Greeks know chili.
Yeah, my Greek, she don't cook like she used to, so.
Well, she's 8 months pregnant.
She stopped way before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I'm trying to take up for, if you're listening.
When that ring, she was like, all right,
well,
you want a sandwich for dinner? That's what it's going to be.
Once you win the race, you take off the uniform. That's weird, though. Like most Greek women are like, I'll cook 6 courses, on a Wednesday.
No.
Not her.
No.
I'm sorry to hear that for you. My cousin is trying to convince me that UCF was good. Stop doing this. You're embarrassing yourself. All right? Yeah. UCF was not this unbelievable team. He's making the Joe Burrow argument with me. He was good at the end of the year. Yeah, when they played Arkansas and Rice. I've done the research. I have honed this argument to a razor-sharp point. Joe Burrow, 2018, mediocre. He had 16 touchdown passes. Like the next year, that's what he had in the first 2 games. He was great in 2019. Unbelievable. Maybe the greatest season of any college football player that ever lived.
You said.
I said in 2018, he wasn't that good.
You said before the 2019 season, I have my doubts about Joe Burrow.
I was right to have them. But then he played, and I watched the games, and I changed my mind. He's fine. He's great. But I was right at that moment in time. When I said it,
touchdown pass, I was really believing in the guy. You know what I mean?
He played in a 10 overtime game. So I can't help it that he had 9 touchdown passes in that. Goodness. All right. We'll be back to normal somewhat tomorrow. Talk some MSU, some Ole Miss, some USM baseball. Maybe talk a little MSU spring football as that's about to come to a head as well. Plus my interview with Zach Selman and Charlie Winfield of State 1878. Give you guys some ideas of what's going on there. Talk to you tomorrow. For Willie's, I'm Brian Hadad. Later.
Oh, it's incredible!
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.